Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Georgia Christian Business Network. I am Kaylee Payton, aka Teacher of Finances, and I have Miss Lisa Bailey with me again today. And we are back today to give you some more education on life insurance because it's September and it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. And we just want to educate you on all different types of things because insurance, as most of you know, can be confusing and overwhelming. We want to break it down and just allow you to see how simple it actually is, but how beneficial it really is for you and why everyone needs some sort of life insurance policy. So today we're going to talk about living benefits, which living benefits are amazing. I think that they're wonderful parts and pieces that are built into policies, and most people have no idea that they even exist, which is why it's so important for us to come on here and talk to you about it today. Because if you have a life insurance policy outside of your job, you likely have some of these benefits built in there and you may need to use them, so we want you to know about them. So Miss Lisa, you can just kind of take it from there. You want to share why you think it's important, and then we could just go into the different types.
Okay, well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome in again to our Life Insurance Awareness Month series here inside of Georgia Christian Business Network group. Today we're going to talk about the living benefits. Okay, life insurance is not just for a death benefit anymore. Okay, it has benefits outside of just leaving money for your family, which is very important. But you can use these benefits for while you're living, for when things happen, when you have these illnesses, and we're going to talk about a few of them. You know, when anything devastating like that happens, a lot of times our mind is all set on the whole, I can't believe I'm going through this. Why is my body failing me? God, why am I going through this? The last thing we want to have to think about is the money. Of course, that comes along with it. It's like, how am I going to afford this? Because we all know how expensive, astronomically, unbelievably crazy expensive it is just to get sick in the world today, right? In America. Okay. So we don't want to have to think about that. So living benefits is one of those riders or the benefits that's inside of some of these life insurance policies where you don't have to think about it. You can just know, oh, I did set that up. I put that in my engine. Let me call my insurance company and see if I can pull some money from here to help me take care of this critical illness that I'm having. And now, once that's taken care of, that's off your mind, you can concentrate on getting well. Okay. So that's another thing as far as financial security that I talk a lot about with my clients is having that financial security, that peace of mind, knowing that just in case, God forbid, just in case I get sick or a family member gets sick, that we have this policy in place that can help us.
Absolutely. It's just so important because even when these types of illnesses come and they happen in your life, most of the time you can't work. And
Right.
so not only is it so expensive for you to just pay the medical bills, now you're having to take off because you have had treatment and you're sick the next day and all the other things that come with it. And so you always, it's like one of those things we don't think about. Oh, I'm going to be working. No, it doesn't happen like that. And so the first one that we can just jump straight into is it's called the critical illness coverage. So critical illness is going to cover those circumstances or those situations in which you may get cancer, a heart attack, a stroke, anything that's a critical illness. In this benefit, the way it works is there's a portion built into these policies. And when you're diagnosed with cancer, or when you have a heart attack, or when you have a stroke, you contact your insurance company and they're going to be able to give you a lump sum of money out of your policy to be able to use because there was a critical illness that happened. And so just like Ms. Lisa said, this allows you to cover those expenses or cover the time that you're taking off work and be able to allow your body to heal and focus on healing versus having to focus on healing and financials. So many people end up losing homes, cars, all kinds of different situations where they lose things in their life because of these types of illnesses that happen. And the last thing that we want to see is you come down with one of these types of illnesses and then have to lose things as well, because it's hard enough to feel like you're losing your battle with your health, much less lose all your different material things that make it easier for you to live and comfortable to live.
Absolutely correct. So a lot of times people too don't know that they have this as an option. So this is a question that you can kind of put in the back of your mind, or either put in a notebook, or however you take your notes when you start shopping around for life insurance. This is a question that you can ask them. Well, is living benefits attached? Can I get a rider with these type of add-ons? Is it an add-on or a rider that comes along with it? Now, uh, just be aware it could increase your premium some, but you want to have the option to add it on or not. Now, another thing I want to be aware, and you let me know, Callie, what you think about this. Some insurance companies will offer these type of policies separately.
Yes. And we're going to do a live on those types of policies here in I think next week, next Friday,
Okay.
actually, I believe.
Okay.
But yes, some of them are separately. And on that live, we're going to explain why you might want to take one out separately along with what you have. But yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. As far as type of insurances, does the riders, the living benefit riders, the critical illness riders, can they ride on a whole life policy as well as a term policy, or is there a difference between those two?
They actually have them on both.
Okay.
So, just depending, it's going to be on depending on your carrier.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of carriers. I know that Miss Lisa, you're independent, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so both of us are independent agents, which means we have access to 30 or 40 different carriers typically.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're looking at policies and you're talking to an agent, I always recommend get an independent agent because of the fact that we get to do the shopping for you. Instead of going to Walmart and only being able to go to Walmart, it's like you get to go to that shopping center and we get to do all of that for you. And different carriers have different policies that are either term or whole that have these living benefits built into them. So they are available in both.
Okay. Because I know I get that question a lot too. And I tell people, yeah, it just depends on which policy you get. Again, you have to ask. I do know one of my companies, it automatically is in there, but that's another company where it's not automatic.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes the companies, they will have it where you can go in there and select it, like she said, as a rider. So it's an additional thing on the policy. And then you select how much money you want to add to it. So you could do a critical illness benefit or a critical illness rider, and it could be up to $50,000 of a benefit. Mm-hmm. Which is nice because then it's not tapping into any of your death benefit of your policy too. So there's different, with the riders, you can select, but then there also are companies like Miss Lisa said that it's automatically in there and they say, okay, you're going to get this critical illness benefit. Depending on the type of illness, we may pay $10,000, but we may also pay 50 or 75,000. Just depends on the company.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so that's another thing I wanted to bring out too. When you're looking at these, make sure you do understand what's in the fine print of the policy. Understand your policy, understand what you're getting. Sometimes when you do get the riders and you pull from it, it will decrease your death benefit.
Yes.
Okay, so just make sure you understand that. A lot of people don't understand that they've tapped into this money for their critical illness, but then, God forbid, something happens to them, and the family is only going to get a portion of what they thought they was going to get.
Yeah,
right.
Which we're going to do the live in a couple days to explain the difference in the standalone policies, because that does happen. And so it goes back. We said it yesterday. Make sure you understand your policy. Make sure you're talking to your agent. Make sure you're asking all of those questions, because of the fact that you just don't know. And there's a lot of legal jargon built in the policies, and they're great. You just have to make sure you understand each benefit and how each benefit works. Another thing that you can get with it, it's like your chronic illness benefit. So let's say you were diagnosed with like Alzheimer's or dementia or something along those lines. You can also use these types of riders to help pay for long-term care, home care, assisted living facilities, different things like that is built into those. That's what that money is used for. So if you don't want to use it, if you're not going to use all of it for the death benefit, you can tap into that rider and then get that extra help because, maybe you have a family member that has one of these types of chronic illnesses and you need help with the long-term care facility because those can be pricey, very, very pricey. And so that is
Mm-hmm.
another living benefit that is added into your life insurance policy if you have that option built in. And they actually have, as piggybacking on that real quick, a
Mm-hmm.
long-term care rider, which
Mm-hmm.
you could have a critical, you could have chronic, and then you could have that long-term care rider so that you have all three different ones that you could use at different times in your life. But it does help with the nursing homes and all of the different where you have to have people coming in your home and helping you take care of you or your family members. So you just want to make sure that if you have them, and if you do have them, use them. You pay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I'm just going to tell you right now, just as on a personal note, I have not my mother, but a family member that I help take care of that insists they do not want to go to a nursing home. Okay. And you can't blame them because y'all know, y'all seen the news and how some of these nursing homes are being ran, and they're just not the best place you might want to put your elderly mother or father in if the time comes. And then on the flip side of that, there's nicer ones out there. There
Yeah.
are assisted living facilities. There are these, I don't call them nursing homes, but senior care centers.
Yeah.
That's nicer that you would love to put your loved one in. But guess what? They're $10,000 a month.
A month.
$5,000 to $10,000 a month, depending on the area you live, depending on the area that you are in and how much they charge. But this is the thing. You have to think about that now. Not if not for your parent that you're taking care of now. Like for instance, I'm in my 50s, okay? So now I'm taking care of elderly parents, right?
Yeah.
If you are younger, you're in your 20s and 30s, just know that as you get older, your parents get older, okay? And they may need your assistance. When they get to where they can't take care of themselves, if they get one of these chronic illnesses or things like that, and then you will be responsible to help care for them. Isn't it nice to know that when you get that age, you may be able to set something up in a life insurance policy with the long-term care rider, okay? And you can take that money and it's there to take care of you in your golden years, in your senior years. If you have to go to a long-term care facility, it's there, and you don't have to be that burden on your children to try to take care of you in your golden years. Just another thought to have. That's a part of that financial security for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren. We don't want to be ill, but again, we don't know what's going to happen 10, 20 years from now. We don't want to die, but we don't know what's going to happen in the next hour when we leave from here. The world that we living in, honey, we can go down to the street to the grocery store. It might not come back home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just reality. So we have to start thinking about the what ifs of life. We got to start thinking, well, what if I do need long-term care? What if I get chronically ill? Is there a history of cancer in your family? Yeah. Maybe it wasn't your mom and daddy. Maybe it was your grandparents. Things like this tends to skip a generation. We don't know. But we got to be, for me, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Yeah. And rather be financially secure than not so much. So these are just another benefits of life insurance that I'm just telling you. A lot of people don't know about. Yeah. A lot of people don't know about. And this is things that you can set in place right now to take care of for the later.
Yep, exactly. And then another one I wanted to kind of briefly talk on before we run out of time is, so there's waivers of premiums, which is an awesome rider to have, because what that does is it's going to help you if you become disabled, even if it's, you're temporarily disabled because you maybe got in an accident or whatever the case may be, because you did get sick and now you're disabled, but you're not permanently disabled, just temporary. It's going to help you. So you're going to be able to stop paying your premiums for a certain amount of time until you're able to go back to work. Because a lot of the times what happens is we become disabled. We get sick. Like I said, we have to quit working. So when we quit working, what happens? We can't pay our bills.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the waiver of premium, that's exactly what it is. It waives your premium for extended amount of time, so that way you don't have to lose your policy. Your policy will not lapse, will not be terminated. It stays in place. So that's always another thing too. When you're looking at policies or you're shopping around, you want to ask that question: do you have the option of waiver of premium? If so, how much extra does it add on to the policy? Because a lot of these times, these riders really do not affect it. They're not going to change your policy premium by $100 a month.
Right.
It's going to be $5 to $25 increase typically when you're adding these riders on. So it's just good to know that, that option is there just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point with that. Because too, I did, and then on that, I want y'all to think about this. If you do have the return, I mean the
waiver.
Say it again. Waiver.
Yeah.
Waiver of premium. Yes. Just stay in constant communication with the life insurance, because once you do get back to work, okay, you want to take the premium back up, start paying it again. Because I have seen an instance where, and this was a small policy, maybe $10,000 policy, where they had that waiver of premium, and then the person stopped paying the premium for whatever reason, and then the actual policy started paying the premium, or the cash value inside the policy.
Yes.
So then when that run out, then they ran out of insurance, and they probably got letters in the mail, but a lot of times we don't look at our mail like we should. So, but anyway, the insurance was lost. The insurance was gone because all of the premium was paid from the insurance. Yes. So you can take advantage of that, rider. Please do. But also just remember, I have to start paying the premium again.
Yeah.
When you get into the position that you can pay again, start paying it again.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing about life insurance, I want everybody to realize and understand that it's a lifetime commitment. Okay. You have to pay it every month. And even if you can't pay it and you tap into that rider that'll pay it for you, still you got to continue to pay it after your circumstances, after you get back to work, after you get well and you're back on your feet. Get back to paying that life insurance.
Absolutely. All right, that's what we have for you guys today. We're at about 17 minutes, 18 minutes. We've been trying to keep it under 20 so we don't take up too much time. We didn't get any questions in the comments. It doesn't look like today, but if you do have any questions, Miss Lisa and myself have both been going back to the other lives and reading through and making sure that we are on top of the questions that you may have. So if you have any questions, please, like always, put them in the comments. You can send us direct messages. The other thing, I just thought of something and it just slipped my mind again. Oh, if you have a policy and you are wondering if these benefits are in that policy, please reach out to us and we can do a review for you. We'll do a review. We'll just let you know exactly what you have and what's available and all the information. We can take all the little bitty print and make it simple for you to understand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for checking it out. And we hope this is valuable to you. And we'll be back on Monday.
Excited. Yep. I'm excited too. Hopefully and prayerfully, this has been wonderful information for you, something that you can think about, something that you can jog your memory. If you have questions, like Callie said, drop them in the comments, hit us up in our DMs. I think both of us are going to put our calendars in the comments. So get on our calendar. Let's chat. Take advantage of life insurance and the living benefits that comes along with it. And I know last night we talked about the cash value. That's another living benefit on a whole life policy. So if that's something that you want to investigate, want to see if you can afford, definitely let's talk about that as well. Okay?
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. And we will see you all on Monday. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.